Hello friends, welcome back. War 2, Season 14, another rematch from Season 11, I think. We fought these guys and they beat us back then, so hoping to come out of here with a victory today. Going in with the same team that we did previous war, Namor, Void, and Warlock. First up we got a Beast on Long Distance Relationship and Tyranny. I almost went in here with Warlock, but then I remembered that since Warlock is a robot, you don't get the willpower healing. Which is what makes this node so beneficial for someone like Void, or really any non-robot who can heal up via the debuffs. So a lot of parrying, and that's about it. Dodging specials is not included because there are no specials to dodge. Void is a villain. Warlock also not a villain, so he wouldn't be gaining any power. And would have lengthened the fight considerably without that mega damage and the armor break on the SP2. So, trusty Void. Could have also gone in here with Namor as well. Namor is marked as a hero. Actually, no, that wouldn't have worked now that I'm saying that out loud because he wouldn't have been gaining power either. He would still have, I think, gained Imperious Rex. I think that gets around it just like it gets around the Power Lock 1 node. I'll have to try that sometime, now that I think about it. So, anyways, while I've been chatting away, Beast went down, we've got a full yellow bar, and now the real war starts. Alright, next up we have yet another Void on Long Distance Relationship Special Lock 1. This is a max rank, max sig Void, unlike last time. So I'm going to boost up a little bit more, just to get give Namor that extra little punch. I really am missing like a superior Void counter. And I'm thinking in my head today, reviewing this fight in particular, what kind of champs is Void really terrible against? And the answer is, any skill champ who can reliably shrug off debuffs. So you're talking somebody like Kingpin, Agent Venom, Night Thrasher, if he gets knocked down, can purge debuffs. Captain Marvel movie version can purge debuffs in binary ignition. But, I don't really want to rank up Kingpin or Agent Venom, let alone bring them into war. I don't have an Elsa Bloodstone. I think could do this fight pretty well. One of the other guys in our battle group has a max rank Elsa that he loves using. And he took this path in off season once, and pretty much slaughtered this Void. So yeah, but until I figure something out or another good champ comes along, Namor works. I dislike having to boost so early in the fight, so early in the war, but it's really necessary because you can take a lot of damage really quickly with Void, and not all of it is avoidable. You have to be aggressive in order to end the fight in 3 minutes, but the more aggressive you are, the more weakness debuffs you get, and therefore the less damage you do. Not only that, but you're constantly degenning as well. So, this is a really tough fight. Every time I do it, I kind of expect not to be able to do it, but somehow I make it through this time and the previous war. So the Void's almost down. We've pretty much been doing the same strategy, just launch our specials as soon as we get them, and keep our distance when we can in order to get those debuffs off us. So, alright, no mini-boss action again today. There were more Iron Men to take care of. That was not my job. We got a thing up here on Vigor and Recovery. I'm going to use Void here for a couple reasons. One, Warlock Special 2 has so many hits to it, and it's a primary source of his damage output is spamming the Special 2. I really think that using Warlock against Thing is not a good idea because it'd be much more difficult to manage the rock stacks, even on a stunnable Thing. If you're constantly spamming, I think it's like an 8 or 10 hit Special 2. So that's no good. Void can do this fight just as easily. You see, I started off with a Power Start 1 boost. I have a couple of them waiting in overflow from the compensation package that I haven't opened up yet, so I've got a few of them to spare. Thing's health pool is pretty sizable, so I wanted to get that degen working immediately. I didn't luck out and get the Petrify right away, which is fine, because I have them up now. So the Vigor is completely blocked. You can see the heal block passive, because I cannot reverse healing. Other than that, it's a pretty typical thing fight. A stunnable thing makes all the difference in the world. If you can stun him, that gives you an extra half second, 3/4 of a second to really analyze the rock stack situation in your head. I've mentioned before, both of Void's special attacks have 2 hits to it. So if I am ready to throw a special, I can never take him above 13 stacks before I launch a special attack. Yeah, so just be good at math a little bit in your head when you're fighting Thing, and he really doesn't become that big of a problem. It's only when you get, it's easy to get pushed back into the wall because his specials and his heavy are so lengthy that you really have to dodge back 2 or 3 times. So got out of that fight with a W, and we're moving on. All right, we got a Kingpin up here on Buffet Recovery. We are going to go in with Warlock here. Void is a terrible matchup, as I mentioned previously, against Kingpin. Right, so Void, lots of parries. You got to be careful that the parries sometimes get shrugged off. Right, so right there I got, I thought he wasn't going to shrug it off, and I went into attack, and he nailed me with an unstoppable heavy. So that did 30% of my health in 1 hit. That's unfortunate. So he's being really stingy here with his special 1. You can see I end up triggering, I think, Buffet one more time, and I think he heals back up to full here in a second, maybe. So come on, pal. Throw your special attack. There we go. And actually, the infection has worn off. There we go. So he heals back up to full because I spent so much time waiting for him to throw a special 1 that my infection wore off. The heal block wore off with it. So now we're basically starting from scratch, but a third of the fight is over. So in my head, I know I have to be a little bit more precise, a little bit more aggressive. You can see he is shrugging off the the armor break debuffs from the special 2. He didn't shrug those ones off right away. He did when he went into overpower mode. He shrugs off all debuffs when that happens. So I mentioned previously Kingpin, really bad matchup for Void. But who in the heck is going to rank up a Kingpin like this person did just to use them on attack? It's certainly not me. So now he seems to be a little bit more forthcoming with his special attacks. I switched to, rather than trying to get parries to stick, basically just baiting out heavy attacks. I'll take that little bit of chip damage. It's a lot safer than risking another heavy, or worse, if I don't get a parry and he nails me with a special 1, because that degen could be pretty killer. So, all right, so we are going to have to heal up Warlock for the next fight, but that's that's okay. That's what happens. Glad to get out of there with a full AB for sure. How many hits was that? That was 89. Okay, so all right, we got a Domino on Buffet Recovery. I'm sorry, Buffet Best Defense and Empower Immunity. So our opponents are running Bulwark this time. Thankfully, no dodge. So I really only have to worry about her, crazy broken evade when she's lucky. So I healed up Warlock to full. After this fight and the Domino and Last War, which wasn't recorded, I don't really see any reason why I should ever play against the Domino with Void again, because Warlock is such a superior choice. He's a tech champ, so he's never unlucky, so I always can safely dodge the special 1. Most opponents in Alliance War run Willpower, so you can see she's actually almost constantly power draining and degenning, and that's because I'm also running the Resonate Mastery. So when I place the Resonate debuffs, or the weakness debuffs on her, she is willpower healing, but she's also infected, so she's not actually healing. She's instead degenning and power draining. So you can see I'm basically keeping her in the corner with parries and backing off. I do miss a parry, I think, coming out of this special. Yep. Oh, not here. The next one. And then she lands me right with a 5-hit combo. And look at that, 75% of my health gone in one combo. And this is not even a mini-boss node, so yeah, Domino, not a broken champ at all in any way. So, of course not. So, we did get out of there full AB against a Domino. I will take that any day of the week, even if it's, at the expense of a few potions. All right, moving up to Boss Island. This is my final fight. This is a debuff immune Korg, max rank, max sig. energy resistance, so the damage that Namor is returning is going to be lessened. Also, crit resistance, not a big deal because Namor's damage comes from his attack rating and his furies and not necessarily from his crits, even though it is quite satisfying to land a massive set of crits on the superpowered SP2. I think I did that last season or the season before, I can't remember. All right, so we're going to do some medium boosts. We had the war pretty much locked at this point, and there was some questions about whether or not the opponents were going to finish, but for pride purposes, I wanted to get out of this fight with a solo. So typical Korg fight, he's debuff immune, so we're going to be generating outrage really quickly. Even if he wasn't debuff immune, he's bleed immune anyway, so we would be generating outrage quite a bit against him. Just taking the blocked hits and baiting out heavies to get our ins, baiting out the SP2. It feels like forever since I had a proper Namor fight like this. So, but the basic idea, as it always is I just keep hitting into Korg. I'm at Special 3 now, but I'm not going to use it until I'm at around 27, 28, 29 stacks of Outrage. So right here, I'm going to pop it. I believe his Rock Shield is currently down, so you will see a decent chunk of damage from this. It's not powered by a Fury, so it's not hitting very hard, but hard enough, I guess. All right, so he's about to get his rock stacks back, which is unfortunate because now I have to fire off my second SP2, and this is basically going to do no damage at all because his rock stacks are going to absorb all of it. The good news is that since it completely shatters his shield, when I go in with my next special attack, it's going to do some damage. Of course, he doesn't want to attack into me at all, and he waits so long that I actually lose enough power that I can only fire a special 1 at him. It still does a lot of damage, but I'm pretty confident that the SP2 would have killed him had he attacked into me right away like he's supposed to. So now, our Furies have both fallen off. We've got a minute and change left and about a third of his health left. Got to play a little bit more aggressively there, so you see I went in with an intercept, trying to get him back to an SP2. And I think we're going to have to get one more Special 3 off in order to get this fight down. So you notice his shield, every time it comes back, it's coming back with 1 fewer rock stack. That is standard Korg fare. And 1 eye on the clock here. I don't want to time out with so little health left. I also don't want to take a combo while he's unstoppable and unblockable. Very important there. When you're trying to bait out specials with him, it's easy to pump into his crowd excitement or whatever that mechanic is. So as soon as he throws the special attack 2, we are good to go back in. And 100 hits, hit our final SP3, and I believe, does this kill him outright? I'll be honest, I haven't watched this since I recorded it this morning, so. Okay, so 5% left. And then we're actually in Imperious Rex, so 1 last SP2 does do him in. So really solid fight from Namor. I love using Namor against Korg. He's one of the best counters. And glad to get out of there with a full AB. So another good war. This one we came out with the W. Low item use again. So 4 potions last war, 4 potions this war. Really happy about that. No deaths, also happy about that. And most happy to get out of there with the victory. So we'll see what happens the rest of the season. If you like this type of content, please feel free to like and leave a comment how you did on your war and how your season is going. I try to stay pretty active in the comments if you ask me something or want to comment on something of my videos. So that's about it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.